The Darien Athletic Foundation is proud to present high school girls soccer. Coming to you from Cardinal Stadium on the campus of Greenwich High School, it's the Blue Wave of Darien taking on Greenwich in high school varsity girls soccer. I am Damian Andrew, and I am happy to be joined this afternoon on a beautiful day by the head coach of the Darien boys soccer team, John Bradley, and a very good friend to the Darien Athletic Foundation, longtime Darien resident Barry Cronin, whose daughter was quite a soccer player and lacrosse player at Darien High School. Gentlemen, great to have you on the broadcast today.
Thanks, Damian. Glad to be here.
John, FCAC opener for both of these squads. Early going here. What can we expect?
I think we're just 1 minute into the game. Obviously, the game hasn't settled down yet. Neither have I. The game hasn't settled into a rhythm yet. We're only 1 minute into the game. The Blue Wave already on the attack, about 10 yards from a corner kick. I think they're going to fire this one into the box from the throw-in. I don't think the Cardinals see what's coming. Natalie Bravo has an incredibly long throw-in, which is now into the box. Greenwich do a great job with the first clearance. And the keeper safely has it.
Great save there by the Greenwich keeper, Estelle Jarrett. And they will clear out. Darien, coached by Lee Parsons. This is his 6th season as the head coach of the Blue Wave. And John, you're familiar with the guy he replaced with the girls program. John Bradley was the varsity girls coach at Darien before Lee Parsons took over.
Yeah, over the last 6 years, the Lee's done a great job with the girls. Come a long way. I'm going to interrupt myself. Katie Ramsey's going down the wing. And it's a goal kick to the Cardinals.
Shot on goal for Katie Ramsey, one of the captains on this Darien team, along with Chrissy Fiore.
I mean, Lee's done a great job. I mean, carrying on from where we left off 5-6 years ago. We've got a few more kids now dedicated to soccer, but he's done a great job pushing on those multi-sport athletes, like the famous Katie Cronin. And,
this year's team is fortunate in that they have some strong senior leadership, and many of these girls have been playing varsity soccer for 3, in some cases 4 years, so hopefully that leadership will be effective not only this game but throughout the season.
Yeah, this is a senior-laden Darien team. Finished 9-3-3 last season. Lost in the opening round of the FCAC tournament, but then made a nice little run in the Class L state tournament. Coach Parsons very high on this team. You know, when I spoke with him the other day, usually a coach is a little uncertain going into the season. He was confident, John. He was very confident with this bunch and liked the players that he has back.
Oh no, this is a fantastic group. As I say, if you look from. We've got Chrissy Fiore in goal, who, in my opinion, is one of the best 2-3 keepers in the state, not just in the league. Emily D'Annunzio at the back. They really have a very, very, very solid foundation. Anna Fox played a ton last year. She's in at the back. Looks like today, Emily Bergwill and Eva Finn are starting right and left, and they're incredibly solid as well. Emily's been playing for a long, long time. So I think the most important thing here is the back four and the goalie are going to give confidence. So if they can get the ball into the attacking third, they have incredible weapons up front. I think immediately now, I think we see Greenwich under pressure again. And it's going to be another long throw into the box, I would predict.
Darien trying to apply the pressure here on the Greenwich side of the field.
I think we're looking at Katie Ramsey to flick it on. And Greenwich do a poor job with the clearance. And Darien have a great opportunity now with the free kick on the 35-yard line. Natalie Bravo has a fantastic shot. So I'm looking for this to hit the target, and we'll see what the goal is made of.
Natalie Bravo taking the free kick here. 3-year varsity player for Darien.
That's a great strike. Could be top corner. Oh, just over the bar.
Just over the crossbar. Good look there for Darien. Mentioned Bravo, 3 years she's played on this varsity squad, John. Nice player.
Oh, fantastic. Plays centre midfield. Uniquely is actually one of the few kids like her sister who just graduated from college who solely only plays soccer. She's strong, quick, and she reads the game very well, so it's a great advantage to have her in the centre midfield. She's also another one that I think will be one of the better players in her position this season. Greenwich have got the ball into the box.
We talked about the captains of this Darien team. Let me go over them again. Chrissy Fiore, of course, the outstanding goalie. Charlotte Harmon, she is out, though, for the season with a torn ACL as Greenwich gets an opportunity here.
Having been around the program, obviously, the last few weeks because the boys have been starting up, Charlotte Harmon deserves a special mention because she's been nothing but, she's out there every day. She's working with the new players, giving the team confidence. She did the same at the back end of the spring season for lacrosse. I think they're going to take a lot of inspiration from her because when they see her desire and passion to be out there, but obviously she can't. She's out there. She's almost like a third coach with Mike and Lee. Darien back on the attack again.
Yeah, Coach Parsons was so disappointed when he was talking to me about her the other day at practice, talking about Charlotte Harmon, such a big part of this team, and not to have her is certainly disappointing, but the Blue Wave will certainly carry on, and she is with them.
Again, it's overall 7 minutes into the game. It's a little bit of a scrappy start. It looks like it's the first game for both teams. A little bit nervous. No one's really settled the game down yet. I think we're looking if we can get the ball out to a Nora Brown out wide. Here we go. Let's see what she can do. It's a great ball up to Katie Ramsey. Blue Wave with a fantastic attack if they can keep the ball moving right now.
Darien in blue, of course, moving from left to right on your screen. Greenwich in white, moving from right to left. No score at the 33 mark of the first half.
I think what both teams are finding tricky right now is this is a very, very quick surface, so the teams are both playing balls that are just running a little bit away from them. So I think in the next 10 to 15 minutes, once they judge the speed of the field, you're going to see a lot more precise passing from both teams.
And guys, this is a rematch of last year's FCAC opener between these two teams, which Darien won 6-1.
But definitely some early season jitters. I think that the team that settles down and perhaps scores the first goal will be in a strong position to take home the victory.
Greenwich with a throw in about 20 yards out.
Eva Finn fighting for the ball on the far side of your screen. The header there by Emily D'Annunzio, one of the captains.
And again, a little silly foul there. It's now a free kick to the Blue Wave.
And Damien, you mentioned a header by D'Annunzio, Emily D'Annunzio, a fierce defender, and heading the ball is one of her strengths, and she's really, really strong in that part of her game.
Now, well put, Barry, and D'Annunzio, one of the captains. I try to keep getting in these captains. Chrissy Fiore, Charlotte Harmon, who we've been talking about, Emily D'Annunzio.
Yeah,
and Katie Ramsey are the four captains for the Blue Wave.
Having D'Annunzio back there really, just said, gives the rest of the team a lot of confidence because, again, in my opinion, same as Fiore, she's one of the top 2-3 defenders in the state, not just in the league. Obviously off to Colgate next year, so the centre midfielders really have some freedom. Right now, the Blue Wave struggling to get the centre midfield the ball. But once we do, I think in the next 10 minutes, you're going to see the Blue Wave dominate the game and get a few chances. I think we're seeing two different styles here. Greenwich, and rightly so, perfectly prepared to put Darien on the back foot. And the first corner of the game goes to the Cardinals.
John, what are you looking for on set pieces like this? When you get a corner opportunity, what are you trying to do here?
I think, seeing as Greenwich boys scored on one of these similar to yesterday, if we look right now, the front post is not covered for the Blue Wave, which is how we conceded a goal yesterday. The back post is fine. Hopefully they don't win a header and it goes in at the front post. That's a great corner and well headed out.
Cleared out by Darien.
It's a nice ball back in. The Blue Wave have forgotten about number 5 and luckily didn't go there. Now Katie Ramsey's on the break. I predict Ramsey's going to win this foot race.
Ramsey down into the corner.
She's looking to put a cross in. Can she win a corner from this? Little lack of support there for her. It's a great...
Honora Brown.
Ooh. And then on to our 3-sport athlete, Katie Ramsey, obviously one of the Blue Wave captains.
We're at the 29-27 mark of the first half here. No score, Blue Wave taking on Greenwich. Season opener, FCAC opener for both teams.
It's a great ball by Ellen Harnish to the back post. Looking for Honora to get the ball back in. And as I was mentioning earlier, Katie Ramsey, captain, 3-sport athlete, one of the best athletes I've seen in the school over the last 10 years.
Well, you were talking about the athleticism of this Darien team. When I spoke with Coach Parsons the other day, he said just that. He said this is an incredibly athletic team, able to do a lot of things.
Yeah, I think right now you're just seeing a little tensiveness from both teams. These long throw-ins into the box are clearly causing Greenwich a little problem, so hopefully Darien can get on the end of one of these. It's a great cross by Natalie Bravo. Unfortunately out for a goal kick to Greenwich.
Yeah, it's certainly clear thus far that Darien is the faster team and will look to utilize their speed out wide to get some breaks.
Estelle Jarrett of Greenwich here, the keeper.
It's a good interception by Ramsey. She's looking to take her on again. I think she knows now that she can beat the left back with speed every time. It's a great turn. Can we finish? And a great clearance by the Cardinals.
Great opportunity there for Darien as they continue to apply the pressure.
And I think you're finding what we're seeing now is that was a great clearance out to Gallagher of the Cardinals, but unfortunately they can't get up quick enough, so now the Blue Wave have the ball back again.
Catherine Gallagher of Greenwich, one of the captains of the Cardinals team.
And Ramsey's in. Can she finish? And it's over.
Just over the crossbar. Great look by Katie Ramsey, and she has played very well in the early going here this first half.
I think her speed is just and length is just simply causing the problems back there. I mean, they've found a weakness that they're going to look to exploit. That was a great chance, I'm sure. Lee and Mike would be telling her at halftime, just find the corners. That was a great chance, 1v1 with the keeper. Again, I think Greenwich overall doing a great job of defending, but I think they're struggling with the speed of Katie Ramsey up here.
And Katie Ramsey clearly has distinct height advantage over some of their defenders as well. One more touch on that one may have been the play, but nonetheless a great play.
Again, I think it's a great example to have two teams with contrasting styles. Ramsey again on the ball. It's a great overlap into the middle. It's a 1v1. Can we finish? Good save. Good save by the keeper.
Good save by the Greenwich keeper.
And again, she's going to let her team squeeze up. It's a great kick by her. But I think the difficulty now is Greenwich need to get a breather. Greenwich have a free kick about 10 yards from the halfway line, and they'll slow it down for a little bit just to get their breath back.
And it'll be interesting to see how the Greenwich keeper performs today. She's replacing a 2 or 3 year starter, Emma Barefoot, who was a very strong player and is playing in college now.
Again,
it's really a new era for the Greenwich girls soccer team as they have a new head coach in Simon Rumbold. He takes over for Danny Simpson, John, who did such a great job the last 10 plus years with this Cardinals program.
Yeah, I think Danny change of scenery. He's now moved over to the Brunswick boys. That's a great clearance. Katie Ramsey's in again. Darien, not enough bodies in the box, but let's see what we can produce from here. Again, I think a good point of emphasis here. We're getting the ball out to Honora and Katie Ramsey quite a lot, but the midfield are not getting up there quick enough, so we need to get some more midfielders into the box to create some more chances. But overall, it's a struggle right now for the Cardinals to get out their own half. And the thing, you especially want to take advantage of the sun being in the goalie's eyes as well.
Good point, John.
That's a good clearance by the Cardinals out to Emily Bergwell. It's a tricky ball to defend in the sun.
And the shots on goal clearly in the favor of the Blue Wave here. I'm not even certain that Greenwich has even got an official shot on goal thus far, with Darien having 2 very strong shots that just were north of the crossbar.
I want a turnout today for this game. I'm just looking in front of me, and there must be somewhere in the region of 200 people out on this gorgeous sunny day to watch this game, which is great for the kids on the first game of the season. It's a great cross by Ramsey, and it's
what a great save.
What a save by the keeper.
A great save by the keeper of Greenwich, Estelle Jarrett.
And a great cross and almost a superb finish by Ellen Harnish and thwarted by the keeper.
And again, the long of the Cardinals have just squeezed up well there from the keeper. The keeper made a great save, and she's managed to get the team 80 yards down the field, which is what they're looking to do. I think the longer Greenwich can stay in this game, the more confident they're going to get.
I would agree with that, John. I think almost halfway through the first half here that the Cardinal will be very pleased to be knotted up at 0-0.
This could easily be a 2-0 game in favor of Darien. 2 great looks by the Blue Wave in this first half with 23:07 left in the first half. We are at the 23-minute mark. No score. Darien in blue, Greenwich in white. Darien moving from left to right, Greenwich from right to left. This broadcast was supposed to be live, but due to some technical difficulties here on the campus of Greenwich High School.
It's a great ball out to Honora Brown. Again, I think
Honora Brown, another nice cross. Boy, they have really been applying the pressure, putting the pressure on this Greenwich defense, John.
Yeah, I think Honora and Katie Ramsey out here have the beating of them every time. Even Honora could drive at them slightly more. I think those two are going to get some chances to score if they're a little bit more confident on the ball.
And a quick public service announcement here while there's a break in the action. Next Sunday, September 17th, marks the 38th annual Darien Road Race at Pear Tree Point Beach. There's a 1.5 mile fun run begins at 3:30 and the 10K that begins at 4 p.m. So all of you weekend warriors, I'd love to have you come out and participate either in the fun run or the 10K, or cheer the runners on, or come down and have a bite to eat and participate in the raffle. And good save by Fiore there. Probably marks the first official shot on goal for the Cardinal.
And it looks like the whole Darien boys soccer team have just turned up to cheer the girls on today. So if you hear some loud voices in the next 2 minutes, it's them singing and dancing.
John, I think they really came out to see you announce this game, to be honest with you.
Flattery will get you everywhere. But a dangerous situation now here for the Blue Wave. The Cardinals have a free kick right on the edge of the box. They'll be looking to take advantage of this. You can see they've put 5 players into the box. And let's hope the Blue Wave can defend this.
Sophia Ruel of Greenwich.
With a great cross into the box.
Off the crossbar. And the clear out by Darien.
Very well placed shot. Unfortunate to hit the bar, but certainly good fortune for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, a little unlucky there for the Cardinals, no doubt about it.
Agreeing with what Barry said earlier, that the longer the Cardinals can stay in this, that was the chance they needed. So it was a great shot that came off the crossbar. Again, it's a little frantic now with the Cardinals getting on top a little bit, but the ball's safely in the hands of Chrissy Fiore.
Momentum has shifted just a little bit to Greenwich here at the 19-minute mark of the first half. No score here on a beautiful afternoon at Greenwich High School. Cardinal Stadium. Stands filling up here for the FCAC opener for both teams, Darien and Greenwich.
It's definitely windy.
It is windy, as you can probably tell through our mics.
A great ball by Katie Ramsey and another, fantastic
Nice
save by
play
the
by
goalie.
the keeper.
The Blue Wave on the attack again.
The first-year keeper's playing very well.
She
probably saved them 2 goals at a minimum thus far.
And she has been peppered with shots, too.
And again, Nora Brown released down the right-hand side with a great cut back. The ball's in the box. We might have to start requesting more Saturday games. What a fantastic turnout, as I said earlier, for this game. So the stands are packed, and people just looking for their school to get the first goal. So we're pretty much in a stalemate at the moment.
Guys, I was talking to Lee Parsons the other day in advance of this game, and one of the things I asked him is his style of play, what he likes, how he likes to play. And he goes, "My style is to win."
I tend to agree with him. It's a great ball from Nora into Katie Ramsey. A lovely cross to the back post.
She has got a really strong leg, Katie Ramsey. We've seen some great crosses out of her this afternoon.
Ooh, it's a great header by D'Annunzio.
It's a great header.
The Blue Wave defence looking solid. Another great ball over the top. Ramsey's in with the 1v1 with the keeper.
Oh, and
Ramsey.
she's in.
And it's a great goal by Ramsey.
Great goal, Katie Ramsey. First goal of the season to put Darien on the scoreboard. 1-0 Blue Wave at the 17:27 mark of the first half here in Greenwich. Good way to start the season for Darien.
And that's what we've been talking about for most of this half, is the speed with which Darien have up front is going to cause Greenwich lots of problems. With 23 minutes in and the first goal to the Blue Wave. I think Katie Ramsey saw the keeper coming up. The keeper there, she's had a great 23 minutes, but definitely a little tentative. She could have done a little better, but Ramsey kept her cool and slid it into the goal.
Katie Ramsey, senior captain for Greenwich. Off to a good start to her senior season. Number 10 out there in the fluorescent green cleats.
I think we traded back to Darien from Greenwich, right? Great ball, I forgot, by Alana Dolan over the top. That's one of her strengths. She reads the game very, very well. And I think she saw Ramsey in the 1v1 there, which again I think Lee and Mike will stress at halftime, is keep getting the ball out wide and keep getting the ball in behind the defence, because they can't cope with the speed of the Blue Wave up there and the technical skill they have.
Free kick here for the Blue Wave. Natalie Bravo, the junior.
And John, nice to see your boys giving Katie Ramsey a standing ovation after that goal. So kudos to them.
Great kick.
And it's off the crossbar. It's a mad scramble in the box, and it's another goal. It's another goal from Ramsey.
Katie Ramsey, right place, right time. That time scores off the rebound. Great effort there off the free kick for the Blue Wave. It is 2-0 Darien, 16:28 left in the first half. And yes, the Blue Wave boys soccer team out in full force this afternoon to support the girls team. going wild after that goal. So, gentlemen, pretty good start for the Darien Blue Wave girls varsity soccer team to the season. 2-0 here. 16 minutes left in the first half on an absolutely gorgeous afternoon.
Yeah, it looks like they're settling in a little bit, making the right pass, looking down the field. If someone's there, try to push it forward. The nerves are gone, and hopefully they can continue and put in a few more goals.
From the start of the game, it's been quite clear that Greenwich are doing their best and scrapping. Again, we've got the ball out on the right to Honora Brown. She's looking at the defender. Another great cross into the box. Ellen Harnish is there. She's looking for Ramsey again. It could be number 3. Great goal by Ramsey. There's the 3rd goal.
That was an absolutely great look by Ellen Harnish to Katie Ramsey, and she buries it in the back of the net.
And 2 great passes. The first one in from Honora to Ellen Harnish, and then Harnish to Ramsey, and that was a great finish, and the goalie really did not have much of a chance at all.
No chance. I think the centre midfielders have done a great job recognising that, unfortunately for the Cardinals, they're getting exposed on the left-hand side, and Honora, Katie Ramsey, Harnish are just taking advantage of it, and we could have an avalanche by half-time. It was 3-0 already. I think the Blue Wave are going to look to put this game away. And I think we could see 4 or 5 by the break, which would be great for Mr. Parsons to then rest some of his players in the second half and get some people on the field. But Darien right now thoroughly dominating the game. The Cardinals struggling to get out of their half. That's not a bad ball. Up to Cockermeister of Greenwich up front. And Greenwich now have a throw in right by the Blue Wave corner flag.
Kim Kokenmeister, one of the seniors on the Greenwich team. She's been around for a while with this program, has played well for them.
Another great two-sport athlete with soccer and basketball. Blue Wave on the attack again. Great turn there. Ramsey's looking for who's in the box, or she might be looking for number 4. It's a great cross. It could be number 4, we think it is. What a clearance by Greenwich.
Ellen Harnish, nearly a goal for her, but as you mentioned, 3 goals already for Katie Ramsey. She is off to just a great start to her senior season, her final season wearing the Blue Wave colors. Has a hat trick here. 3-0 Darien at the 14-minute mark of the first half is the Blue Wave with a corner kick. Natalie Bravo will take it.
A lot of movement inside the box. Bravo takes a fantastic corner. It's a great ball into the box.
Great
Good
land.
save, goalie.
Ramsey over the crossbar. She wants that 4th goal this afternoon.
That's a scorer's mentality right there. If you think you got it, you got to go for it.
Well, and I think you said that, a scorer's mentality. You can see that Darien, as you mentioned, John, is quick up front, and they just keep applying the pressure in this first half, no doubt.
Yeah, it's been relentless, and I think Large in goal was overall had a decent half. Maybe the first goal, but the last 2 goals she couldn't have done anything about. I think the finishing for the Blue Wave for the last 2 goals was excellent. I think Greenwich, when they get across the halfway line, it's just very difficult for them to get enough players up to support the forwards.
Yeah, pretty much every offensive try for Greenwich has been, 2v4, 2 offensive players against the strong 4 defenders for Darien. That's exceptionally difficult.
The Cardinals looking to get it into the box. And cleared away again by the Blue Wave. That's a great touch by Harnish. The Blue Wave looking again, another great ball over the top. I think Ramsey's looking for number 4.
Just wide. That would have been the boys on your team, John, referencing the fact that went through the goalpost, so that would have been 3 points.
Yeah, I just hope these boys get as excited if we score a goal.
Just wide right for Katie Ramsey, who can't say enough about what she's done here in the first half. has the hat trick, three goals at the 12-minute mark. All Blue Wave, up 3-0.
And I think Lee and Mike looking to carry on, exploiting what they see. Oh, Ramsey's off again. I think she's looking to get a good cross into the box. Unfortunately, didn't turn her hips enough and out for a goal kick.
As I look at Katie Ramsey, it might be the shoes. I mean, those fluorescent green shoes, you can see all the way up here. I mean, she certainly stands out, and her game has stood out this afternoon thus far.
You definitely wouldn't lose her in the dark, put it that way, with those lime green shoes on. But I think, again, looking to carry on exploiting what they see, Olivia Hughes just come off the bench to right midfield, and she's another quick, smart player. So I think the Blue Wave are going to look to keep getting the ball out to the wings and into the forwards. And I think Lee and Mike are looking to put this away before the half. Because again, Cardinal's on the ball, and it's straight back to the Blue Wave. I think they're panicking when they're on the ball, just because of the pure skill and pace of the forwards for Darien.
Emily Bergwall, the throw in. Katie Ramsey fighting for it.
And to your point, John, with respect to the Greenwich panicking a bit in the offensive zone, that the time of possession is clearly been dominated by the Blue Wave, probably 3-1 in terms of minutes of ball possessed.
Yeah, I think if Greenwich was going to have a chance, that ball that hit the crossbar really had to put the one up, which would have been against a run of play. But obviously the Darien defence, with Finn, D'Annunzio, Fox and Bergwall, really have it locked down back there. So if you look, Greenwich playing with the one forward is really just putting them under too much pressure. So Greenwich, I mean, unless they change their formation or do something at the half, I think they could be in for a long 50 minutes. We're only 10 minutes left in the first half.
John, we mentioned earlier the athleticism on this Darien team. In terms of style of play, that allows you to do a lot of different things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, I keep stressing athleticism. Darien has a very, very, very skilled bunch of players as well. So combine the two, I mean, I think that we're looking at the Blue Wave and definitely another great interception by Nora Brown. I think she's looking to release the forward. It's a great ball again. I think we could be looking at another opportunity for the Blue Wave and cleared out by the Cardinals. So I think it's a combination of both. We're now just not relying on pure speed and athleticism. There's skill that goes with it. And there's a lot of these kids, some just soccer players, some multi-sport with lacrosse, basketball, hockey, that have been playing for many, many years. And they're very, very familiar with the game. They're very smart players. They're very technical players. And I think that's what we're seeing as the difference today. I mean, Blue Wave have just thoroughly dominated the Cardinals so far.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Coach Parsons was really, confident going into this game. He feels good about this team. A lot of returning players. We've been talking about the athleticism and the skills.
So the Cardinals looking to get the ball into the box, and another clearance by the Darien defence.
Christy Fiore, outstanding goalie, although she hasn't had to do too much this afternoon. Her offense is really doing a nice job.
That's a fantastic kick up the field, and I think Olivia Hughes in here with the 1v1. Very smart play by Olivia. Another ball into the box. But that's the difficulty of being a keeper. Mentally you have to be on your toes. She's been back there. She had a couple of things to do to clean up. She's very, very, very intense when she plays, so the game never really stresses her out. I mean, last year she had an unbelievable season, some great saves in the penalty shootouts, and I think she gives the whole team a lot of confidence back there.
And of course, a terrific lacrosse player as well, who helped the Blue Wave win a state championship last spring. Your daughter, Barry, played both soccer and lacrosse, playing lacrosse down at Duke.
Yes.
First year.
Yep. And Darien's fortunate to have many multi-sport athletes, and like you said, some are soccer or lacrosse, some are basketball, girls ice hockey, and it's just great to see the skills transfer from the field to the ice or field to the basketball court.
It's another great throw into the box.
Barry's daughter, of course, Katie Cronin, who's down at Duke playing lacrosse, played soccer and lacrosse for the Blue Wave, standout in both sports. Did she like lacrosse when it was lacrosse season, like soccer when it was soccer season?
The Blue Wave are in again.
That's well said.
I think Bravo's going to look to have a shot. Good effort.
Wide left. Natalie Bravo, she's played well this afternoon.
I think this game's a great reflection of how hard the Blue Wave work in the off-season. Again, I said a lot of these kids have played since kindergarten, and it gets difficult for the couple of years where you're trying to juggle 2 things or even 3 things, some of them. But you're seeing a difference in 2 programs here, where Simon, who's taken over the Cardinal program from Danny, he's got a little bit of rebuilding to do. But overall, the Cardinals look solid. I think if they could just relax a little bit more and change their formation, they could give the Blue Wave some trouble in the second half.
Had a chance to talk to Simon Rumbold before this game. He was nervous, excited but nervous. First-year coach for the Cardinals, replaced a guy.
And Anna Fox playing out the back. Well done. Blue Wave on the attack again. That's a great ball out to Olivia Yu. As much space as she wants to take. Maybe 1 touch too many there. She's won it back. Well done. Can we get a ball into the box? It's a great ball by Bravo.
Ooh. Nice back pass there from Yu to Bravo, and she sends it into the box as Darien just continues to apply the pressure here in this first half. 3-0 Blue Wave, season opener for both the Darien and Greenwich, FCAC opener for both teams. A rematch, actually, of last year's FCAC opener.
I think it's a fairly familiar. I mean, I was at the game last year, and it's a very familiar picture. I think again, the Blue Wave thoroughly on top. Natalie Bravo coming through again. That's a great ball out wide. Could be number 4 for the Blue Wave. That's a great goal. Oh, it's the inside of the post. I should not count my chickens. That's a great move by the Blue Wave. I thought it was in, but it hit the inside of the post and bounced out.
And that was a great ball by Bravo down the left side. Nice to see him play down the left side as well as the right.
And the Blue Wave in again. Another ball into the box by the Blue Wave. Again, the Cardinals win it well, but unfortunately with no one up front, they just can't hold on to the ball for longer than a couple seconds, and it's back to Darien.
Coach Parsons told me it's important to keep possession of the ball so the other team can't score, and they have done that in spades this afternoon. Darien.
The Cardinals into the box.
Chrissy Fiore brings it out. We're at the 3:32 mark of the first half.
First time the Cardinals have really moved up the field there. Darien on the attack again. Great. Smart foul there by the Cardinals, because Natalie Bravo with some great moves there would have been away past the defender. I would look for again the Blue Wave to get this ball into the box and look to get number 4 before halftime. Bravo getting ready with the free kick. I think she sees the goalie off her line. This could be tricky for the keeper with the sun. It's a great free kick. Oh.
And Olivia Yu tried to get ahead on it, just missed.
Bravo, we mentioned at the outset, has been with this Darien program for 3 years. She is a nice player and is certainly showing that this afternoon. She's only a junior. They've got her back for 1 more season. Nice when you have returning players like that, John.
Oh, yeah, I mean, she's one of the, again, she's come a long, long way over the last couple of years. Here she goes again. That's a great ball out wide. Darien looking to get across into the box. I'd be happy to have Bravo playing forward on the boys' team, put it that way.
While we have a moment, just want to remind everybody who's watching us, we are coming to you tape delay. Had some technical difficulties, so unfortunately not able to bring you this game live, the season opener for the Darien Blue Wave.
It's another ball into the bottom. It's a goal kick to the Cardinals. As you can hear, very, very windy day today. Hasn't really affected the game too much because Darien's been in possession so much. Again, the keeper slowing the game down a little bit. I think Greenwich just be happy to get to halftime. But again, as we see there, the ball was cleared out by the goalie and one straight back by the Blue Wave.
And again, you have one Greenwich offensive
Fox
player
back to
against
Fiore.
5 Darien defenders. That's tough.
John, let me ask you, what do you say if you're first-year head coach Simon Rumbold at the half, down 3-0 against a very good Darien team? You just got to try to settle them down, I would say, right?
I think you'll say similar to what I said yesterday at halftime when we played Greenwich. It's a case of going out and being smarter in the second half. I would imagine Simon at Cockermeister away here, last minute of the first half. Again, a great tackle by D'Annunzio.
Great tackle by D'Annunzio, one of the...
I would imagine Simon will change up his formation in the second half. And he's looking for a bit of heart and determination to make sure the Blue Wave don't turn 3 goals into 6 or 7. But again, I think the Cardinals have to do a better job of just holding on to the ball a little longer, because otherwise it is simply going to be exhausted towards the last 20 minutes. We're winding down here with 10 seconds left. Not even sure we'll get the throwing in from the Cardinals.
And that is the end of the first half here at Cardinal Stadium on the campus of Greenwich High School. Darien up big, 3-0 over Greenwich here at the half. And we will be back after a short break and bring you second half action here between Darien and Greenwich, season opener for both teams. We are back at Cardinal Stadium for the start of the second half of this FCAC girls varsity soccer game between Darien, the Blue Wave, up 3-0, taking on Greenwich. And joining me on the broadcast this afternoon, the head coach of the Darien boys varsity soccer team, John Bradley, who used to coach the girls varsity team, and a longtime Darien resident, Barry Cronin. So happy you guys could join me this afternoon in what has been a dominating, impressive performance from Darien in the first half.
Yeah, Coach Parsons should be happy. It's a great way to, nice cushion to have a 3-0 lead halfway through the first game of the year, and he's seen a lot of good things out there from the senior leaders of the squad.
John, how do you play this second half now? You're up 3. You've been applying the pressure throughout. Do you keep doing that? If it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality, or do you go into a kind of a possession?
No, I think Lee and Mike have been looking to put the game away. They've come out with the same starting lineup that started the first half. I think the Wave will be hungry to get another 1 or 2 goals on the board so that some of their friends can get on the field and they can get some rest, because again, it's a long week next week. We've just kicked off. The Wave already on the attack. It's a great shot. Good save by the keeper.
Yeah, the next goal is critical. I mean, if Greenwich could score and it's 3-1, they're back in it. At least would feel like they're back in the game. And if Darien scores and it becomes 4-0, then clearly the game's pretty much out of reach, I would think.
That was Nora Brown with another great look just moments ago. 3-0 Darien. Darien in blue. They're moving right to left in the second half. Greenwich in white moving left to right. And the throw in here, Natalie Bravo.
If they can just get it over the defense, it's a great throw by Bravo. And Nora Brown's in. We could be looking Ramsey number 4. Oh, great save by the keeper.
Great stop.
And the rebound off the post. Another great save by the goalie.
Katie Ramsey is having herself quite a first game of the season.
Yeah,
nearly her 4th goal there, John.
I mean, again, like I mentioned in the first half, the forwards are doing fantastic, but I think a lot of it is due to, we've got like Fiore in goal, Eva, Emily, Anna, Emily. They're doing a great job back there. Yes, we do have 2 Emilys in defence. It's just so much confidence that the forwards know they've got the freedom to get forward because the defence is so solid. So I think the Wave will have this put away in the first 10 minutes. I think it'll be a couple more goals. Could be another one now. Blue Wave back on the attack. I think they're going to look to put this game to bed by the 30-minute mark of this half.
Yeah, and in some ways these two teams seem to be mirror images of themselves, in the sense that the Greenwich team doesn't seem nearly as confident on the back line. They have a lot more people back and nobody up front, and as a result really haven't had any meaningful offensive chances.
While we have a moment, I want to mention the field hockey team. The Darien field hockey team won their season opener last night, beating Fairfield Ward under the lights at Stadium Field on the campus of Darien High School. First ever night game in school history, and boy did Mo Minikis' team play well, beating Fairfield Ward on just a great night there. And the girls varsity soccer team will be playing under the lights on September 22nd against Danbury. The Darien Athletic Foundation, DAF Media Network will be doing that game on the September 22nd against Danbury, Stadium Field, under the lights for the Darien girls soccer team.
The ball safely in the hands of Chrissy Fiore.
And again, this game you can watch back tonight. We're actually tape delay situation because we had some technical difficulties, unable to bring it to you live via our YouTube channel.
Beyond our control. Beyond our control.
Yeah, technical difficulties beyond our control. Sometimes that happens in the broadcasting business.
The Blue Wave back on the attack again.
Darien continuing to apply the pressure here in the second half, picking up right where they left off in the first half.
I think it's been a great day today. As I said, it's a little bit windy, sun shining. As I said, just want to mention the fantastic support here today from the Blue Wave families, soccer teams. I see students, field hockey kids. It's nice when they come out and support their other fellow students when they're playing games. But a dangerous situation here for the Cardinals. A great ball by Bravo into the box, and a great save by the keeper again. But again, simply too much. The keeper makes a great kick out there, and then Blue Wave win it again. Throw into the Blue Wave on the halfway line. Nice touch there by number 22. Oh. Cockermeister's in round the back. She'll be looking to win a corner. It's a throw into the Cardinals.
Darien clears it out. 3-0 Darien, 34-minute mark of the second half. It's been an impressive performance out of head coach Jamie or Lee Parsons' team.
It's a nice touch by Ramsey and a great service. Ellen Harnish looking with the 1v1. It's a nice ball. And I think even though the Blue Wave conceded possession there, I think that's a slight difference between the two teams today. The Blue Wave built out the back and held on to the ball well there.
And probably 6 different girls touched the ball in the attacking zone for Darien. Their passing is much more crisp than the Greenwich team.
It's a nice ball out from Burgle to Brown. Good defending there by the Cardinals. It's a fairly similar start to the first half. It's been a scrappy 10 minutes with the Blue Wave on top. I think we're looking at a corner now to the Cardinals. I think Simon will have told the Greenwich players that each corner kick and each free kick they have to capitalise on, so I'm expecting a good delivery into the box. They've committed a few more bodies forward now. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 Greenwich players in the box.
Corner opportunity here for the Cardinals. Haven't seen very many of them this afternoon.
It's a great ball into the box.
That was a nice kick, nice lift.
But you're right, John. Greenwich needs to capitalize on every opportunity because they've had such difficulty getting quality shots on the 1v4 or 2v4 offensive set.
Yeah, you're correct there, and that's why I think they're going to look to those set pieces. I thought that was a nice corner kick and a good header. Unfortunately, a little bit off target. I think the next goal is going to be very, very crucial to this game. If the Cardinals get a goal, it's going to give them a little bit of hope for the rest of the half. But if Darien can get goal number 4, this game is all she wrote, and that'll be the end of it.
A big win in the season opener for the Darien High School football team last night on the road at Ridgefield. They beat Ridgefield 38-12. Talk about making a point in the opener. That was a rematch of last year's state championship game, which Darien won. So they get a big road win in Ridgefield. Nice way to start the season. That's American football, John.
A sport near and dear to my heart. Most people don't even know that I played that in college. Started out as a soccer player, finished out as a kicker. Blue Wave back on the attack again. This could be tricky for the Cardinals if they don't clear their lines. And Ramsey's in again, looking for number 4. It's a great goal. What a way to start the season by Ramsey.
Katie Ramsey is having herself a game. 4 goals. We still have 30 minutes left in this game, and she has all 4 of Darien's goals as the boys soccer team here in attendance, and they certainly like that goal out of Ramsey.
And that was a strong finish with the left foot on that one. Sometimes from up here, those look a lot easier than they really are. But it was a good finish and well placed.
Yeah, good point, Barry. 4-0 Darien in the blue, down into the corner. Kokenmeister with the ball. Nice cross. Goal kick here for Fiore. And again, other than a few goal kicks, she really hasn't had to do much today.
Hasn't had much to do, and I think the boys team just figured that out as they're heading out the door, probably to get some food and head back to Darien. Thankfully, the wind's died down just a little bit. Another ball into the box by the Cardinals, but there's simply not enough forwards there. And I think with the difficulty of this league and how hard it is, I think Greenwich might be looking at a couple games where they're going to have to change his formation up a little bit in order to get some more pressure, because it's a very, very difficult league. Blue Wave on a great ball over the top again.
Here's Ramsey again. Far sideline.
5 for Ramsey.
Wow.
What a strike by Ramsey. It's number 5. 5 for the Blue Wave and 5 for Ramsey.
And that was a great pass, delivering that into Ramsey over the top of the defense. One touch, back of the net.
And for those that don't know, her mum, Sherry, is actually the assistant field hockey coach. So it's great that this game was on a Saturday afternoon, because her mum's here to watch the game with some other members of the family. So it's nice for her to be able to see her daughter score. And I can't remember anyone that I've seen score 5 goals in a game in a very, very long time. And there's a great strike into the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, that is no easy feat in soccer. Scoring 5 goals as a team is a lot of goals. For an individual to have 5 is special.
I don't think they'll have to look too far to find the player of the week this week. You know, the Cardinals have a little bit of possession. The first bit of possession the Cardinals have, but again, it's just wasted again because there's just not enough bodies forward.
And the last time they had the possession of the ball, it was a great cross into the box, and there was nobody there. And Darien quickly flipped the field and take it right down and score. That's really difficult.
John, I mentioned earlier that each varsity team will have an opportunity to play under the new lights at Stadium Field on the Darien High School campus. You guys will play St. Joe's under the lights October 20th. The Darien Athletic Foundation will also be broadcasting that game. Playing a home game under the lights, John Bradley, that should be something special.
Oh, I mean, we can't wait. I mean, it's been a long time coming to get the lights in place. So, I mean, again, the girls get to do it first. The field hockey was fantastic last night with the 7-0 win. Football get to do next week. I think the experience for these kids is it's unbelievable. I mean, we've got to do it at every other school bar ours. So I think the experience for these kids. I mean, you saw today how they came out and supported their fellow teammates and fellow students. So I think once we get under the lights, it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, that'll be a special atmosphere for a soccer match, no doubt about it. Barry, let's talk a little bit about those lights. Absolutely stunning. LED lights, they're beautiful. It's hard to believe that these teams at Darien are finally going to get a chance to play home games under the lights through great efforts from the Darien Athletic Foundation as well as the Darien community at large. It's finally come together.
Yeah, that's great, and we're thrilled. And look, today we have great support from on an away game on a Saturday afternoon when kids have an awful lot to do, but to have these Friday night games where we'll see the community come together and support their fellow students, their fellow teammates from other sports, and just the community at large. I think it's going to be great. And look, this has been a tireless effort from so many members of our community for so many years, and the fact that it's finally come to fruition is great. And it's great because every sport is going to be able to share in that moment. Those that play outside and have the ability, but they are state of the art, and we think it's going to be great, and look forward to being part of it.
Yeah, state of the art LED lights. They're like nothing I've ever seen before. When I finally got a chance to look at them last night during the field hockey game. Darien, only the second school in the state to have these kind of lights. So if you're going to do it, you're going to do it right, which you did.
Well, and it was really a bunch of different pieces of the community, from planning and zoning and the Board of Ed, and just not solely the Darien Athletic Foundation, and a whole bunch of people that have been working for going on the better part of 20 to 25 years to make this happen. So it's great for the community, and obviously great for all of the student athletes and coaches as well.
Blue Wave football coach Rob Trefone told me a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the new lights. He went through a very similar situation when he was the head football coach at Brian McMahon. He saw that transition from no lights to having lights, and he said what it does for the community at large is just unbelievable. It just brings community together. And Darien, that's such a strong community to begin with, to have this now, Friday nights. I mean, when you think of high school football specifically, you think of Friday night lights, and that's now will play out in Darien.
Yeah, I think it's great, and obviously, given the fact that the teams, not just football, but so many of our teams have had such great successes recently, I think we'll have tremendous draw from the community, and we think it's going to be tremendous.
John, getting back to this game, Darien up big. If Simon Rumbold's probably saying to himself, geez, if they didn't have Katie Ramsey, I'd be in a 0-0 game here. That obviously is not the case, but this is certainly a learning experience for his Cardinals.
Yeah, I think Darien simply have too many weapons. I mean, it happens to be Katie Ramsey who scored the goals today, but if it wasn't, somebody else would definitely have taken the reins. I think Darien has certainly dominated the game. It's a little interesting now that Blue Wave are looking for more. I mean, obviously it's a very long season, so I'd expect in the next 5 minutes Darien to make some changes. It's another great ball into the box. Could be number 6. Oh. The ref's given a foul to the Cardinals.
Natalie Bravo with a terrific free kick. We are at the 23-minute mark of the second half here. Darien up 5-0 over Greenwich in the season opener for both teams. Darien opening up on the road. They beat Greenwich last year to open the season, 6-1 the final in that game.
I think the game has played out exactly how we thought it would from the first 15 minutes of the first half. I think the Cardinals are being worn down. As I said, they're struggling to maintain possession of the ball. And when the Blue Wave are getting in the attacking third of the field, they've got a lot of time to pick them apart.
Shot on goal there for Greenwich. Fiore with the save.
And I think Lee should be pleased with the quality of the play in the middle part of the field. The middle part of the field has delivered some great passes to the forwards who've obviously finished those. But here comes another pass right here.
It's a great ball by Alan Harnish. Again, I think this is the start of a long season. I think Darien is going to be there. I think they've got a great chance this year to make it all the way to the finals of the FCAC.
Well, Lee Parsons said the other day when I spoke with him that all he's concerned with, the goal is to be one of the top 8 teams by the end of the regular season to get into the FCAC tournament. And then you never know what can happen, right, John? Once you're in, you got a chance.
Yeah, I think Darien will definitely be in that top 8. I think that, in my own opinion, I think Darien is definitely one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the league. I think people often tend to underestimate them, but there's a very, very strong squad and deep. Blue Wave here looking to get number 6. It's a great shot on goal, and it could be there. There it is.
Wow.
There it is.
Great shot. Lauren Larissa, the senior, number 25 with the goal. On the free kick.
A fantastic shot by Lauren. That's how you make a statement when you come onto the field. Took ownership of that free kick.
And that was a blast. Just under the crossbar.
And nice to see someone else get on the score sheet.
Spreading the wealth a little bit. 6-0 Darien here in the second half. The 21-minute mark of the second half.
And again, I think that kickoff from the Cardinals just summed up the half. They took a kickoff and gave it straight back to the Blue Wave. I think the Cardinals have to be real careful here, confidence-wise, not to go and concede too many more goals.
Lauren Larizzo, one of the 14 seniors on this Darien team, and as you both alluded to earlier, that a lot of depth on this team, a lot of returning players. Darien certainly looks to be like a team to take seriously in the FCAC this season.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around the girls and boys for the last 17 years, and I think this year St. Joe's will be strong. Ridgefield, Ward, Staples are good, but I think Darien is they're not a sleeper anymore. But we've got to get back to those semi-finals and finals and prove people wrong, because this team can definitely play with the best of them.
Shot on goal.
Good save there by Fiore.
And you see some of that athleticism out of Fiore there. Great, great save. Comes back to get the ball. That was about the busiest we've seen her in this game.
But her concentration levels are excellent, and that was a great example. She hasn't had anything to do, but then pulls off a great save like that. And again, Darien on the almost slipped in Ellen Harnish. Unselfish play there by Ramsey, looking to get Harnish in, but just cut out by the Cardinals defender.
Getting back to Chrissy Fiore, John, what does it take to be a good keeper? I mean, obviously you got to be athletic, but what does it take?
I mean, aside from obviously the athleticism which she has, she's mentally strong, because I think the most difficult part of being a keeper, which people don't understand, is you touch the ball for less than 40 seconds. And that's in a 90-minute professional game, right? So it's very, very difficult. Blue Wave on the attack again. Ellen Harnish looking for number 7. So to maintain that concentration and focus, especially on days like today, is very important. And I think we saw just then most keepers might have gone to sleep, and that would have been a goal to the Cardinals. But she prides herself in giving up no goals and keeping clean sheets every game.
Yeah, good point, because they are up 6-0. So
the Blue Wave will be looking to keep a clean sheet here. But again, she's fearless in there as well. So she's confident, fearless, and her sister was a great keeper as well. So obviously runs in the family.
And as we mentioned in the first half, she's also quite a lacrosse player, is Christine Fiore.
Oh, Kochermeister's in here. It's a nice turn. But again, there's no Cardinals there to support with. They've gone backwards again, and this will be easy for Fiore.
And that was a good bid by Kochermeister, but it's tough to score when it's 1-on-5 in that instance. Literally 5 defenders back for the Blue Wave, and they're one of their stronger offensive players. That's just not a fair fight.
And it's surprising on a day like today where if you are Greenwich, you should pick up some learning points. Again, Blue Wave on the attack again.
Ellen
That's a
Harnish
nice ball into the box. Ellen's kept that in well. Greenwich have pretty much continued to play the same way the whole game, and I'm sure it's a little bit frustrating for Kochermeister up top, who's actually had a pretty good game, that the support can't get there quick enough. She's been isolated, so every time she gets the ball, there's no support there, so they can't really get any decent shots on goal.
Simon Rumbold said before the start of the game, expects big things out of Kochermeister this season, and she has certainly played well today for the Cardinals.
We're not quite sure why the clock has stopped. One of those interesting referee moments. We'll wait and see why and what he's talking about.
Yeah, we are stopped here at the 16:46 mark of the second half.
Maybe it's such a gorgeous day, he wants to stay a little bit longer.
It has been an absolutely great day weather-wise here at Cardinal Stadium in Greenwich.
It's a nice throw. That's well played there by Gallagher. Again, the Cardinals could do with a little bit more of that. That was nice. It was a good run down the wing and got them 40 yards further up the field.
Yeah, Gallagher also a track star for the Cardinals, so she's got some wheels, showing it there on the near sideline.
So, Damien, who's up next for the Blue Wave girls soccer?
The Darien Blue Wave will play Trumbull Monday night game at Trumbull at McDougall Stadium.
Unless they're coming with us to play at the same time, I think you're looking at the boys' schedule.
I am looking at the boys'
I think
schedule,
they must play
John.
Tuesday.
No, you're absolutely right. I am looking at the boys'
Maybe
schedule.
we're going to play co-ed. I could do with a few. Maybe Ramsey will play for the boys on Monday.
The Darien will play Trumbull at home.
That'll be another good test on Tuesday. Trumbull, always a solid team.
Yeah, Trumbull and St. Joe's always bring it year in and year out in girls soccer. Goalie kick here for Fiore.
Harnish is there, great turn.
Harnish, John, has played really well this afternoon for the Blue Wave.
She's had a great game. I think that she's allowed Katie Ramsey to have a little bit more space, because when teams have to worry about 2 good forwards like they have today, it doesn't really matter who scores. There's been so many chances because they've had to worry about Harnish as well.
Harnish only a junior, so she'll be back next season for Darien.
I think again the game just 14 minutes left, just slowly drifting to a close. Again, I'd look for the Blue Wave to make some subs soon. Definitely don't want to get any of your starters injured when you're 6-0 up the first day of the season. Got a big game coming up Tuesday against Trumbull. And again, easy clean up for the Blue Wave defence.
John, what does this do for a team's confidence? 6-0 in your first game of the season. I would imagine that does pretty good things for the ego going into the next game.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the style with which they did it as well. They've come out here today and just pretty much just run over Greenwich from the very first minute. Maybe Greenwich, if that free kick would have gone in and they hit the crossbar, would have put them 1-0 up, which could maybe have made the game a little bit more difficult. But I think the Blue Wave would have looked at their first 4 fixtures with today and Trumbull. And if I've got it right, we've got Bridgeport Central, then Trinity Catholic next, which are relatively 2 of the easier fixtures in the league. So big game on Tuesday against Trumbull. If the Blue Wave can carry on with this, they should be looking at a 4-0 start to the season.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, the FCAC is always tough, so certainly won't get any easier for Darien as they continue through this season.
No, I think it's an interesting schedule they have, because it's these first 2 games are tough, then they've got a few of the weaker teams in the league, and then in the middle they have a stretch of 5 or 6 games where they play St. Joe's, Ward, Ludlow. But I said, I think there's no doubt in my mind at the end of this season the Wave will be in the top 4 of the FCX. And I think they can make a great run to the semi-finals or finals this year.
But John, have you found that it's been to your advantage to be playing a Ward, a Ridgefield, a St. Joe's, arguably the year in and year out the stronger teams later in the season, when the team has had a chance to gel? And I mean, most of the stronger opposing teams have year-round soccer players, or certainly more year-round soccer players than Darien. So I would think playing them later in the year is often a benefit to the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and that might be the thought process today. I mean, I was wrong on this. I thought we would have had a lot more starters off the field by now, getting them some rest. So that is clearly the thought process of Lee and Mike to get the starting group a good 70-75 minutes of exercise today, and not just exercise them. Obviously, cohesiveness. The longer they're on the field, the more they get used to playing with each other, because pre-season isn't the real season. So this is their first big game. So I think when you're playing games 8, 9, 10 against Staples, you're much better off than if you came off the first game of the season. And I had to remind the boys of that yesterday. We had a great season last year and we lost to Greenwich the first day. It was the same as yesterday. It's very difficult when you play the top teams in the league in the beginning. So I'd agree with you in terms of these guys will become a lot more cohesive unit in another 3-4 weeks. But I think from what I've seen today, the Darien girls soccer team does not have to fear anyone in the league at all.
No, and some of the goals they've scored were real high quality 3 touches and great passes and great finishes. And if they can do that against some of the stronger squads, so like you said, they'll definitely be in the top 4 and deservedly so.
The clock has stopped at 10:54 as there is a injured Greenwich player on the far sideline.
Unfortunate time to pick up an injury. It actually looks like it could be a little bit of cramp over there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The trainer there.
And while we have this stoppage again, I'd like to give a quick shout out, community service announcement for the Darien Road Race next Sunday. Will be the 38th running of the annual Darien Road Race out at Pear Tree Point Beach. There's a 1.5 mile fun run, which is great. There's kids ages from whatever 2 to teenagers, and then there's a 10K immediately following. The fun run is at 3:30 in the afternoon. The 10K is at 4 in the afternoon. That is a new start time, so it's later in the afternoon. And all proceeds benefit the community fund of Darien. So we'd love to have people come out and participate in however they choose. If they're runners, spectators cheering on the runners, or coming down to just participate and get some food and participate in the auction items. And we could always use some volunteers as well. So love to see you out there.
Absolutely. And the Darien Athletic Foundation Media Network will be broadcasting next Friday night's home football game. First ever home football game under the brand new lights at Stadium Field. There will be a dedication before that game. We will have it all for you on the DAF Media Network. Darien welcoming Brian McMahon to Stadium Field.
Looks like the Greenwich players up, feeling good. I said it looked like a little bit of cramp over there, the way the trainer was dealing with it. Good to see her up and running.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, John. I think that was a cramp. And it is good to see her up and back over in front of the bench. So we're here at Cardinal Stadium on the campus of Greenwich High School. Darien dominating in its first game of the season. Up 6 goals on Greenwich, 6-0 Darien, 10:54 left once we start this clock. The throw in by Darien on the far side of the field. Ramsey pushes it up ahead. Ellen Harnish wanted that one. Greenwich header, Harnish with the ball. The clear by Greenwich. Darien in blue, Greenwich in white. Darien moving from right to left. Greenwich from left to right.
10 minutes left to go here. Blue Wave back on the attack again. Well done by the Cardinals.
You know, Coach Rumble told me that he has some speed on the wings, and you have seen that at times from Greenwich in this game.
Yeah, I think that was a nice play there by Murphy. I think what he's going to find is being thrust in the first game of the season. I'd imagine he might make a couple changes of personnel. It's a good turn there again. That's a nice ball up to Ramsey.
Ramsey.
I'm just not sure we've seen enough of the Cardinals on the ball to see. They maybe could have used the wings a little better, but I think Darien was smarter today in how they played and how they moved the ball.
Half the field shaded here at Cardinal Stadium, half the field sun-drenched. 8:53 left in this one. As we have said, it has been all Darien, a good way to open the season with an emphatic win. Up 6 goals. 4 of them scored by senior captain Katie Ramsey. 5.
I think you can see here today the Cardinals have definitely some dangerous weapons. I think they'll go and reorganise, and I wouldn't sleep on them this season. I think Simon will go back into the locker room, revisit his game plan for today, and they'll come out stronger in the next game. As I said, some of their players have definitely underperformed today, but again, it's one game in a 16-game season. I think Greenwich is definitely going to surprise some teams this year.
And if you're Lee Parsons, John, what are you telling your team after this one?
Very much similar thing. It's one game, as I said. When they looked at their schedule, they would have circled this and Trumbull as 2 very important games in their first 4. I think the aim for the girls is to be 4-0 at the end of next week. I think winning breeds confidence, and I think that's what he's going to tell them. It was obviously a thoroughly dominant performance today. But again, they've got to keep on their toes, keep working hard.
In the FSAC, it always is a difficult league, and it seems like teams numbers 5 through 10 in the league are quite evenly matched, and those are the must-win games. So the Darien-Trumbull game is a critical game, or there's always two teams that end up in 9th or 10th place that are on the outside looking in. So to the extent that you can win those must-win games early in the year, it's really helpful down the stretch.
It's also great to come on the road and put on, not just to get a win like this, but put on a performance like this. As I said, at no time in the game have Greenwich looked dangerous or ever looked like winning the game. As I say that, they launch an attack, ball into the box. And a nice clearance by Darien.
Greenwich trying to get on the board here. Throw in by Samantha Cias.
And 6 minutes left here. Cardinals will be looking to get on the board and get their first goal of the season.
Action on the far side of the field as Greenwich tries to apply some pressure here. Goalie kick coming up for Fiore.
Great first day for her with the shutout. She should get some work here.
Yep.
Great interception
Great
there.
defensive play by D'Annunzio.
Yep. And Fiore did have a terrific save earlier in this second half.
Again, we're just winding down here in the last 5 minutes. I think the Blue Wave will be happy to get the last 5 minutes over with. Great 6-0 start to the season. No injuries and move on to Trumbull.
That is always a big key when you're up big in a game, in any sport really. You don't want to see any injuries late in the game, especially after an impressive performance like this. Got a substitution here for Darien. Lauren Larizza checking out.
Great goal by Lauren for the free kick.
And Nell Niffen checking in for Darien, number 28.
Nice to see a freshman on the field, getting a little run out for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Nell Niffen, only a freshman, first year on varsity. Fight for the ball here on the near side of the field.
But again, for Greenwich, I think for Simon and the other two coaches, what they'll look at is, again, this is just one game. You're looking to try and find a way to get to be 400 at the end of the season to make it into the state tournament. So, same as I told the Darien boys team yesterday, you can't be too pessimistic first game of the season. It's a great thing about this, you get to regroup and go and play again in a couple more days. He's got to find a way to get his most dangerous weapons on the ball, and if he can get a couple more players up there supporting Cockermeister, I think Greenwich can win a few games this season.
John, let me ask you the outlook for your boys team this season. I know obviously tough one the other day, but like you said, you take it one game at a time, and it's a long season. FCAC's tough.
I think we always knew, obviously, after the last few years, it was going to be tough. It's an incredibly tough league because there's no days off. Every team's
Right.
tough. but bringing no one back that played all 16 games last year has been tricky. We've got 3 starters out injured at the moment, so we're looking for kids to step up. Greenwich is always tough, as will Trumbull be Monday night. And again, similar to Greenwich today, we have to regroup, refocus, and the kids that have come off the bench to take the starters' places have got to step up and do a little bit better job. We'll make some changes in formation and personnel, but we're looking to go to Trumbull on Monday night and come away with a result.
And Trumbull and Greenwich were 2 of the strongest teams in the FCAC last year, right, John?
Yeah.
So the scheduling gods didn't do you any favors giving you the
No, I mean,
difficult start.
as I said, I don't remember the last time. We've played Greenwich every year and tend to lose the first game of the season. But it's not doom and gloom. As I said, that's why they give you 16 games to figure out how you're going to get it done.
What was the post-game talk like to your guys?
It was similar to that.
Yeah.
The second half, we actually played very well yesterday. The first half, we struggled. Let's see if the Blue Wave can get number 7. That's a great corner. They'll be looking. It's there, and another save again. And then we need to play a complete game Monday night to have any chance of beating Trumbull, who will again be on their home field 7 o'clock, and they're a very, very strong side. They just beat Ridgefield in the first game, but we'll aim to go there and cause an upset. Looks like Darien really are looking for the number 7. Ramsey's back in the box.
And we are winding down here at Cardinal Stadium. Darien 6, Greenwich nothing. First game of the season for these 2 varsity girls soccer teams.
And ironically, with 10 seconds left, the Cardinals have put together their best move of the game. And that could be a penalty if the ref, then they're not even going to get a chance to take it.
They did stop
And they
the
stopped
clock.
the
I stopped the clock with 0.2 seconds left. Got to
0.2
tell
seconds.
you, never seen that before in my entire life. The clock just keeps running. It doesn't stop. I'm sure the ref's going to correct it and that'll be game over. For those of you that don't know the rules, if a player gets injured, the ref can stop the clock. If it's a free kick or, I mean, really this should have been a penalty shot, but he's given them a free kick, the clock definitely shouldn't stop. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure the ref knows why. A little bit of entertainment in the last second of the game. Looks like the ref thought and felt a little sympathetic to Greenwich, so give him a shot on goal.
Sophia Ruel will be taking this.
With Fiore with the sun in her eyes.
0.2 seconds left.
It's a good shot. Save
Nice
comfortably.
save. And that'll do it. That'll do it here from Cardinal Stadium. Darien, the Blue Wave, impressive in their first game of the season. They beat Greenwich 6-0. And really a wonderful afternoon, especially if you're a Blue Wave fan.
Oh, it was fantastic. I said to see everyone come out today. I think the whole boys team was here. There was other students here. It's nice to see. And again, it was a thoroughly dominant performance from start to finish. So with field hockey last night, football. Looks like boys soccer have to go and get a win.
Yeah, John, you got to get your guys in gear here. So, but yeah, Coach Parsons has to be pleased, and hopefully we can see some carryover from their strong play today into next week.
No doubt. John, best of luck the rest of the way. We'll be hearing more from you throughout this season on the Darien Athletic Foundation Media Network. And Barry, always a pleasure being with you. Thank you for sitting in this afternoon in what was an impressive win for the Darien girls varsity soccer team. So for Bruce Ferguson, John Bradley, Barry Cronin, I am Damian Andrew. Thanks for watching. Darien wins its season opener 6-0 over Greenwich. This has been a production of the Darien Athletic Foundation Media Network.